I've been a fan of Dead by Daylight from a short distance, playing it from release in the bugged hell that it was, where unbalanced gameplay was balanced, and Trapper was still scary. I wanted to make a video now so existing players could discuss my points and their points, and new players could make a judgment if they should pull the trigger and try Dead by Daylight, as it's not like many other games. To give a brief overview, and I mean brief, it's a 1v4 survival game where you can play as the solo killer to find and hunt down each survivor within your map before they can finish generators and escape, or you can play as a survivor in a group of 4 to outwit and escape from the killer by completing your objective, which is the generators that you can find scattered around the map. First of all, why bother play now? It's been 4 years. Well, that's exactly why you should play now. Dead by Daylight has been developed for 4 years since release in June 2016. As a result of being developed consistently from release, the bugs, the metas, the perks, the abilities have been tweaked beyond belief. There has been constant rebalances, introductions of new styles of play, map changes and so on, which has kept life fresh for years for existing players. This also means that those that are joining now can enjoy what is the most balanced version of the game to date. On top of this, buggy gameplay should be mostly avoided, the flow of the game from the menus to the gameplay itself should be smooth and purposeful for the user. Although the menus for the Rift may not be ideal, they're not nonsensical. On top of this, being developed for years after release should show the commitment from the devs and paints a picture of genuinity and care for the game. A lot of the best games out there have been a result of the labour of love. Look at Siege, Terraria and GTA 5. Well, 2 of those games have the excuse of having the budget for the development, but one is comparable to DVD and that's Terraria. It comes from a small developer team that's put years into the game, even post-release. Being a smaller team that managed to support a multiplayer game for 4+ years means they're doing something right, and I full-heartedly believe they are. What is to say that could end though? It is still being developed on this 4th year. Even after being released and then continually being developed for 4 years, it goes into its 5th year strong, announcing the standard quarterly DLC releases, beginning with Silent Hill and The Descent Beyond. 2 very strong additions to the Dead by Daylight game. Every release adds a new life into the game. The Stranger Things DLC brought many new players into the community. Once the Oni came out with Fang, it brought my favourite exhaustion perk. Every time there's a new release, we're guaranteed to get something fresh. Whether it sticks or not doesn't matter often because the base game already has enough to show for itself anyway. The DLCs just encourage more playtime due to the increased variety. And the DLCs do not have to be purchased to experience its release. Maps will be added for free, you can get the perks on the shrine when they show, you can even earn via the pass the currency to unlock some characters. The DLCs don't cost much anyway, especially when they go on sale, and they do go on sale frequently. This is not a pay-to-win game, and Behaviour do the best that they can to sustain themselves while also bringing more content. With all this additional content, there is a lot of variety in this game. With the numbers of killers and different abilities they have, I could make a detailed video on what killer would be the most enjoyable for you simply due to the variety within this game. Honestly, killers are so different that you have people maining certain ones and playing them for thousands of hours before even playing another one. Meaning they only play this killer for at least a majority of the time they play this game. They're experiencing 1/30th of what the game is. Even when playing just one killer, the game stays fresh for them and they just don't stop playing. However, not everyone can play just one killer, and that's okay, because you have all of these to play as well. Oh, and survivors too. For killers, you can chase, you can trap, or you can ambush. For survivors, you can be altruistic, you can have different exhaust perks, you can also play really gimmicky with things like red herring, or head-on, or object. Furthermore, due to the nuances of this game, there's a lot of satisfaction you can get out of this. Once you get down and gritty in this game, there are so many nuances to it that give you that rush. There are moments in this game where something will spark in your mind and you realise, hey, that tree is awfully well placed next to the shack loop. And you can channel your inner Zubat, before you know it, you've diverted from the loop and placed yourself behind a skinny tree, and the killer is none the wiser. Whether it be successful or not, you are likely grinning ear to ear anyway as the killer vaults the window and looks for you. These are moments you remember, the moments you play for, the times you look back and want to recreate or make better of. There are tiles you dream of and receive when you love to be as a survivor, and subsequently would hate as a killer, or tiles you defeat as a killer. Yes, for those that like to compete and improve or become the best at X. This is no Boston Major 2018 or X-Peke backdoor, but these moments you encounter casually and somewhat frequently, that dopamine will hit you hard, even at the mundane moments within the game. This game still has that horror aspect. Although us experienced players are pretty desensitized to the horror of the game, Even we can still get scared. There are times you will hear the tier 2 from Myers occur and find out he's staring at you, not somebody else. You'll have a Ghostface around the corner on you when you didn't expect it from the mind game. You'll have an unexpected hag trap pop. Even when you're already in the zone as a survivor, you can still get scared. There are games where you'll be caught off guard and it will immerse you. There is still the appeal that not many people like, but there is a grind in this game. Finally, this only really applies to the niche audience, which fully might be you listening right now. There is a lot to get out of this game, quite literally. There are many perks and characters to unlock and play. As a result, the completionists out there have a lot to get out of this game, which definitely appeals to someone like me. But there is content to fulfill, challenges you can set yourself and achieve in this game. That list goes on, and it's there for you to enjoy. Thanks everyone for watching this. It took me longer than usual to make something like this, and I'm pretty happy with the end result. And I want to make more things like this, so stick around if you want to see more.